What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. We are diving into the finale, the last 2 episodes of Bad Monkey today. If you've been watching the whole series and enjoying it, you're not going to want to miss this one. We're going to find out what happened after the storm. Did the bad guys win? What is the fate of Neville and the monkey? And we'll get to know all of that and more in a little bit as we dive in. Also, stick to the end to figure out how you can win this month's $50 gift card. But until then, what do you think, brother?
Oh, fuck. That was wild, the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, it went fast, but it was hard hitting, fast paced. It definitely was good.
No shit. I mean, Gracie?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Holy shit.
That was fucking sad.
Yeah.
But I was playing Call of Duty the other night, and I had a friend reach out to me on there, and he's like, dude, I really love your podcast. I don't even watch those shows, but there's just something about it. I just listen to it in the background, and y'all are entertaining.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, any tips, any feedback you give us too on shows you'd like us to review or anything, love it. You know, it's been great, the growth and the feedback we've been getting from this channel. So I really do love that. And thank you. I don't whoever games with you there. That's awesome, dude. But yeah, so this really like is the culmination of all the craziness of the season, right? Obviously, last 2 episodes. And in the aftermath of Hurricane Mel is really where it all picks up. The storms rolled through, all the flights off of the storm's coming, basically, right? And so all the flights off of the island are canceled. They realize something very, very detrimental. I need to get off the island very quickly. And then end up calling up their old, or actually talking to their old buddy, they call him later, who is the pilot, right? So do you want to dive into that, or do you want to go a little bit earlier first?
Well, I guess we should probably start a little bit earlier, just like the show did, set him up with the gun. I think it's funny that Yancy hid the gun and she kind of twisted the story a little bit.
Yeah.
She didn't want to look like a fool. Yeah, I intentionally shot him.
Yeah, that was funny for sure. Yeah, so she insists on not needing the gun on her undercover work. Right, Yancy's big idea to have her go undercover and lure them back to Miami as an investor goes by, as you know it would with any plan Yancy comes up with. And so they lure her back to the house. He's very skeptical about it, gives her the gun anyway, hides it in her pocketbook. And then for good reason, right? Because him and Neville are out at the bar. They think all is good. So they go out for a drink and, you know, hang out a little bit, run into the Dragon Queen, who technically is just Gracie at this point, right? See, she has like thrown that title away for a bit.
Gracie dies in this episode.
Right.
And then Dragon Queen dies in the last episode.
Oh, I like how you put that. That's dope. Yeah. But I like how Gracie, like how that switch goes off after she's like hangs out with her mother's ghost for a bit. And then you can see her just switch as she's walking away from the grave.
Her mother's a fucking straight up alcoholic.
Well, that's what, yeah. If you remember earlier in the season, Yaya says to her, don't let the people who are going to try to tell you that the drink is what killed her. But I will tell you right now, it was a broken heart. So she was a drunk. We already knew that. And so we got to see her portray that as the spirit, which is kind of cool. But anyway, you know, they start joking around with Gracie at the bar and, you know, just you're not so scary, yada, 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 just being, you know, small talk. And then Gracie says something where it kind of cues in to Yancy that things aren't good. And he gets real serious, like the serious you've ever seen Yancy be. And he's like, tell me right now, or I will fucking, like I will hurt you. I will find you. Bad things will happen to you. Let me know right now. And not exactly those words, right? But that's what he says in that essence. And she's right away. She's like, yeah, they know. Someone very close to them, close to me, close to them. Let me know. They already know who she is. And so, boom, that starts we got to go save her.
Yes. And I do like how, what's his name?
Which one?
The island dude.
Egg or
No,
Neville?
Neville, sorry. Neville. He's like, yeah, you're not so scary. That was funny.
Yeah, well, without the presence and the makeup and the magic, which she keeps thinking she doesn't have, she keeps denying it. Yeah, she isn't. She's just Gracie, right? She's just another woman.
And also that little girl, too.
The future Dragon Queen.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Should have known that she was going to die just from the introduction of you've got the magic in you. But I thought that because Gracie was just like, you know what, fuck this. I don't want any of the Dragon Queen shit. I thought that's what it was leading towards. I didn't realize she was going to fucking die.
No, that was a huge surprise. Yeah, huge surprise. Because she immediately leaves the graveyard, goes home, rebuilds the altar, redons the Dragon Queen attire, and then goes out to find Eve in the storm. And what a cool, like, the lightning striking, she cuts her, like, the whole scene was really cool. And then it was like, womp, 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 anticlimactic. She just pushes her and pulled a Logan. But anyway.
She was totally meant to die because that branch should not have fallen any other, like, the way it did. Well, it fell intentionally perfect just for her to set up to die. But
Yes, it did.
they're getting way the fuck ahead of her.
Well, we could jump back. Listen, we're following one arc. Here's the thing. You don't listen to the narrator very often, but I do. And he actually said when she gets put, like the tree falls and she gets pushed onto it, and he goes, and that's when the island got its sacrifice, its human sacrifice. And that's what allowed the spell to actually take place and what comes of everything else to happen.
Yes. But let's go back real quick. We got to go back to the Rosa.
Rosa's still kidnapped. So we haven't talked about that yet. Well, you mentioned that she accidentally shoots Egg. And we did mention that Yancy puts the gun in the pocketbook, but we didn't mention that
The dog gets taken hostage.
Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, so Eve, being the conniving, evil prima donna that she is, has Egg take Rosa as collateral so they can handle Yancy. Rosa gets away by accidentally shooting Egg in the leg, and so he's incapacitated. She takes off. However, Yancy by himself originally goes to rescue her at the house that she's not at and gets held at shotgun by Nick. Gonna kill him right there on the spot, execution style. But then Eve walks in and she's like, I won't have sex with you on this bed if you get blood on it. So obviously he's like, okay, I'm not doing that. We'll take him downstairs. And that's when the dog.
Yeah, the dog gets taken hostage. And it got to the point where she's like, if you shoot that dog, I better have another one tomorrow.
That's crazy how quick she switched too, right? From this is the love of my life, the only thing I truly care about, to kill them both and get me a puppy tomorrow. Like, whoa, lady. Do you actually care about anything but yourself?
Probably not.
In that moment, you knew. No, not at all. But then the twist of, at first I thought when Neville grabbed the fishing pole, I'm like, oh, the dude's a fisherman. He fishes every day. Somehow he's going to hook the shotgun and pull it. And then,
I thought he was going to beat him with it.
And then Yancy was going to like get away, right? Fucking snapped it and shoved it into his spine. I was like, oh, was not expecting that. Incapacitated that dude real quick.
See, I thought he was fucking around when later on in the episode, he was like, I can wiggle my toes.
Yeah, no.
I didn't realize it was that bad. But you see the infection.
Yeah.
That infection was nasty. Well, she's like, oh, and this green stuff doesn't look so good.
Yeah.
He's like,
She's like, oh, it's spinal fluid. Lick it.
no, he says, lick it and tell me what it is.
Oh, yeah. It's right. Yeah. No, yeah, but as soon as she pulls it out and she's like, oh, it's not that bad. And that deep red blood starts coming out. You're like, oh, that's bad. Like, that's real bad. Like, that's bad.
Whoopsie. Let's see. The whole thing with the ghost.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, it was cool.
It's like she finally figured out who she was
Yeah.
in her last fleeting moments.
Yeah, she couldn't deny that all the things that she's been saying aren't true and just like a scam her whole life are real. Like, she's staring at and hugging the not the whole corpse, but the ghost of the spirit of her dead mother, and getting the validation that she has been, I think, for like, am I making her proud? Are the things that I did redeemable? And then her mom gave her that validation, which I thought was really cool. Nice arc.
That was. And then the crazy bitch escapes jail.
Yes, Connie's back. Dude, what a crazy lady. Yeah, she's the whole time, instead of like talking to the cop about like anything even remotely reasonable, she's like, do you think Rosa can't do it together? Don't you think I would be better? And the cop's answer is like, well, let's see. She's beautiful and a good person, and you're federally locked in the federal penitentiary, so I don't think so. And then she's like, well, can you put in a good word for me? And she's like, no. And then next scene, she has convinced another dumb young man through seduction and the powers of love.
She's a master manipulator.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Has been since Cody, really, right? Think about it. So she's been doing it her whole life. I think the only person it doesn't work on is Yancy. Because Yancy's just like,
whatever.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah. Maybe it worked a little bit, but I think she fed into his character knowing that he may, like if she may have done it knowing he would have hit him into the water with the golf cart. Like why else is she showing up looking like she did, battered and bruised if it wasn't like a manipulation play slightly? But at the same time, I think because Yancy is so like go with the flow, whatever the fuck, when it comes to like her relationship with him, I don't think he really had that much. She had that much power. I think that's why she keeps coming back because she didn't actually conquer that yet.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense too. But I thought it was very interesting how they showed us that one little key piece of the umbrella moving. Like she's asking for small favors. That's what manipulators do, is they ask for little things until those people do them.
Yeah.
And then they're able to insert more and more influence with the bigger things that they ask later on. And so she started with that small little thing of, oh, it's too heavy for me. Can you move the umbrella? I attempted, I tried, blah, blah, blah. And eventually he's like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tactic. I mean, military uses it too, where it's you push and push and push until you can't push anymore. And you come back just a little bit. And then you push and push and push until you can't push anymore. And you come back just a little bit. And then you keep pushing. And before you know it, what used to be over here is now sitting way over here.
That line move, that the fuck
Way away. Yeah, exactly. And she's very good at it. Yeah. It's a great way to put it. I love that. So Connie's out. She's on the run with the guard who took his dad's convertible. And now they're
Bonnie,
not Connie. Right. You're right. Not always the best with names, but
I'm terrible with names. I just had to look at my notes.
But I guarantee you some of the comments will correct it too early on. So appreciate you guys for doing that. Bonnie, with the B, is now on the run again. So she's back. What is it? What did he say? She's back outrunning the storm. Something like that. I thought the way the narrator puts it's pretty cool.
Did you ever watch any of the recaps?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, they're pretty funny. He's like, "Are you really listening to this again? All right, here we go." Yeah, I've listened to him.
Yeah, okay. The way they did that was awesome. It reminds me very much of Evil. Like the last season of Evil, you mentioned that
I watched the first 2 episodes, yeah, with the one sleep demon guy.
But the last season of Evil, they started hiding stuff in the bottom of the screen for the recap to keep you watching the recap also. And it was hilarious too. They're like, I'm tired of you freaking skipping this shit. Stop skipping it. And all kinds of smart ass shit like that. It was great. That's one of the things I really appreciate about that. And I love how the narrator in this was sick of doing the recap by the end. And so it's just like, you should pay attention to this.
Yeah. Well, you see,
No, but he didn't explain anything. He just showed scene in quick clips. And it was absolutely hilarious for the final season or a final episode recap.
yeah, that's smart. Because if someone's binge watching something, and I'm coming from personal experience here, I'll skip those. Because I literally just watched it. I don't need the recap. Like, I don't need that recap. But if I'm sitting down week after week, right, like just an episode drops every week, then I'm sitting through the recap because I want my mind to be they're giving me the core details I need to lay the story and keep moving forward, right? They're not giving me everything, but they are reminding me of things I may have forgotten, which I think is great because I'm very forgetful. So I'm like, yeah, that's great. Thank you. But otherwise, I do skip them. So
I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And I had to like bring that up again for this final episode of the show and just wanted to give them credit for something truly amazing that they did there.
I mean, if you want to give some credit too, I'd like to chime in with the intro itself, not the recap, but the way they did that whole sand intro. Like HBO's kind of got the trophies, as you will. They're like up there when it comes to intros. Game of Thrones. What's the other one now? I can't think of it. House of Dragon. Like when they do those intros, the intricate tapestries or the moving maps, like those things are awesome. The way they do the sand in the beginning of Bad Monkey.
I don't think I ever watched the intro.
Dude, I skipped it and Mace got mad at me. He was like, I wanted to see the sand melt. That's awesome. Like, I love how they do that. Like,
I never even watched it again.
But I always just wanted to tip my hat to that because it's worth checking out.
Now I'm going to have to go watch that.
But let's jump back in.
All right. So Rosa pissed me off.
Oh, shit. Why?
She gave him an ultimatum.
Oh, okay. We're jumping there. Okay. Got it. Yeah, for sure. So Rosa gets away from Egg. They go back to the house and they're immediately like, we need to get off this island. That's when they go to Clappers. They share who they are for real. They give him the sense that he can save himself through immunity and all these different things. Aligned with them, he can get away from the bad guys, and, get saved. And so he offers them the ride. And Yancy gets all the way to the plane and basically says, I can't let go. I have to see this through. I love you. Go to safety.
Which set us up for the finale.
Which was pretty cool. You knew it was coming based upon the common theme with everybody and him. Just let go, right? So he's like, I can't let this go. And Rosa gives him the ultimatum, which is
either you get on this plane with me or we're done.
cold to the heart, right? And she says something along the lines of like, but things are so good, don't ruin it, or something like that. And he just can't let go. He cannot let injustice stand. He just can't. He measures it like a couple times, like, and at the very, very end as well. We'll get to it, but he just can't let injustice stand. So he stays, and Rosa leaves.
That should piss me off.
And then we have,
how you gonna do it to this man?
yeah,
Y'all were having so much fun. She was warned at the beginning. He constantly warns her that, hey, look, people who fall in love with me sometimes end up in prison.
he's very blunt about it. Yeah, he's like, it's not a good track record here, for sure. But yeah, she takes off, and I thought that was going to be the end of the episode, but it keeps going, and that's where it sets up Dragon Queen versus Eve in the heart of the storm as Hurricane Mel is ravishing the island of Andros. You have this epic battle between evil and evil, which is kind of cool. And then it cuts out, and we don't see
evil?
At this point, no, she's regained herself, right? She's come back to the light side, if you will, right? If we're going with a Jedi metaphor, the light and the dark. But so
She didn't look very light, though.
oh, she was full on Dragon Queen, which was dope.
Yeah.
She was in the character again.
Had the tribal stuff on her face.
Oh yeah,
The tribal paint.
you know, it was cool, man.
Definitely wild.
Her presence in that whole scene when she pulls the knife and
Great.
it was amazing. Absolute power, yeah. And then womp womp, we lose her in the very beginning of the finale, which now we're in the finale. We're in the final episode at this point. And it opens up with a very different, because like when it ends, she basically cuts her and Eve's like, oh no, like it's a very different vibe. And then when it opens into the next scene, it's much more of like an actual fight. And I was like, that's very different, but I like it. Let's go. It was set up to be a cliffhanger, you could tell, right? And then when it jumps back in, it's much more of an actual like conversation and confrontation.
And the federal agent, the lady that he calls up, the one that he met at the park bench. At the park bench.
Her lunch spot, yeah.
And he's like, can you do me a favor?
The FBI agent. That's when he asks for Clasper's immunity, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was fun there.
Funny because he's like, good, because I already promised him, and he's on his way.
I already sent that text.
Yeah. He sent 9 exclamation points.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
And let's see, when him and Neville go to get her from the bank after that's set up.
That's another good one. That whole, when I do this, what do you do? When I do this, what do you do? And then he's doing it, he's not moving. It's like,
Yeah, doing like this and then that. And then he keeps going like that over and over.
yeah. When he was trying to get him, if the cops are there, he's trying to get him to come in and save him.
Yeah, fucking corrupt cops.
Well, that's the same politician that they bought on the yacht, right? So the whole thing, they're all bought.
Yeah, for $1,000.
Crazy.
I remember that one specifically.
Yeah. So Neville finally gets the hint, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets away with egg, and Neville finally gets the hint that Yancy's telling him, "Hey, swoop in and save me." And then he crashes the car because Neville can't drive, and then Yancy steals the cop car and gets away with Neville.
The finale. All right. So I was surprised that she pushed him off the
I
pier.
wasn't. As soon as Egg said to her, "Oh yeah, that's usually how spinal injuries go. They get better every day," I knew.
An asshole.
Yeah, he is. He's very blunt, and I mean, you can tell he's very clear on what he values and what drives him, which is kind of actually like a guy like that you can deal with, right? Because there's no hidden agendas. It's like if you got more money, you win, right? That's all you need. But when he said that to her, and then it cut to her face and her like going into her mind thinking more about it, I was like, shit, she's gonna leave him. I didn't think she was gonna kill him, but I knew she was gonna leave him. And then
That's what I thought.
And then as they're walking to the pier, I was like, oh shit. Okay, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, hey, where are we going?
Yeah. And then in like the last ditch effort, he's like, just tell my daughter I love her. And she's like, no, I won't. And just pushes him off. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So womp womp womp. Nick/Christopher, the man who cut off his arm for love, got stabbed in the spine, is on the run, got killed by that same love. Crazy.
When she goes onto the boat to escape, and Egg's there. She gave him this whole story of, oh, I got tired of pushing him because it's really far. Can you go pick him up for me? Oh, by the way, how do you start this boat? I'm going to captain it.
Yeah. I think the only reason Egg didn't question anything is she handed him 10 grand. Like, she paid him to walk away, and he did.
Yeah. But then we go to the scene of the Dragon Queen visiting people, which we should
jump it over that, yeah. So, in the beginning of this episode, when Womp Womp Dragon Queen gets killed by the branch.
Don't say womp womp like that.
It's such a defeating death. Like, she was all powerful and like dominating, and she gets pushed into a tree branch.
Which could have happened by accident too.
Right, but still.
Like, she barely got pushed.
Yeah.
She just,
Right. Like I said, womp womp. But anyway.
made her grandma proud.
Before she passes fully, she basically spirit walks, right? Like her mother did. And she visits her grandmother and says, I believe, goodbye. Thank you for everything. You were right. I'm back on my path. Grandma's very happy.
She didn't realize at first, though.
That she was dead. Right.
Yeah.
She did realize as soon as she disappeared, though.
Yeah, she did.
And then she could see like that longing in her face.
She visited
Egg.
and the little girl.
And then the girl last, yes. Someday they will call you queen. What a powerful line.
I thought that was really sweet of her.
But she told her, she said, you stay the path, you work hard, and one day they will call you queen. Like, damn, that's powerful. That's cool.
She got chills.
Yeah.
When she visits the little girl, she just gives her all this wisdom and just like motivation, like, keep going. You're good.
Yeah.
Trust. Right?
Yeah.
And then she visits Egg and she says something along the lines of talking about his soul.
Yeah. So a man that can sing like that has to have a heart, is what you said.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Love in his heart.
Right. Yeah. That's what it was.
It was so good.
They're powerful lines of spirit walking around.
And he didn't realize that she was a ghost either.
No, I don't think anybody did.
I think the girl did.
Okay. Well, she's used to seeing spirits. She looks like in the graveyard. Yes. And that's why Yaya is like, you got that magic? Like, you can see them?
The tree's angry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, very powerful scenes. And then with her dying breath, you're going to choke on your lies is the last thing the Dragon Queen. And then we move on to the next scene. Eve acts as if nothing ever happened when she sees Egg again. Oh, I'm so sorry, Egg. She was such a great lady.
No, I don't know where she is.
Plays it dumb. But you mentioned that, Eve, she starts the boat and she gets away, right? Well, she starts to get away.
I knew something was going to happen because the dumbass didn't even tie up the lines. Like, I knew those lines were going to come into play somehow, but I didn't expect Yancy to jump in and grab him. I expect him to get, like, caught up in the prop or something like that.
Stall it out, yeah. Stop it from moving. No. I mean, it was set up to finally let him let go, which was great for his arc. But, yeah, I thought, at first, I thought he was going to start, like, water skiing, like, foot skiing behind it and, like, pull himself up. But nope, just a great way to have him finally let go of the things that have been holding him back. So we get the flashback montage of everyone he cares about in his life, always telling him to let it go. And then he finally does.
Once they started that, I knew where it was leading. But at the same time, it was getting me super choked up because I thought they were going to kill him off. Because this show is really good at making you think one thing and then flipping the script on you.
Yeah.
And then doing something different.
Yep. For real.
So I enjoyed that so much about this series. Also, I love the fact that it ended where it started.
I thought the same thing. I thought that was really cool. Especially, like, one, yes, it started, like, it even says, the narrator says, and it ends right where it started. Yancy's right back here. But the exact conversation that they have at the very end is the exact conversation that starts the whole thing.
Minus the glass.
He didn't want the glass the first time.
Yes.
He did say, I've got something in my car, kind of police work. I think you'd be interested. Can you help me out? Along those lines, right? And whatever line they use in the beginning is the exact same line he uses at the end. And then, he denies it at first, and then curiosity gets the best of him, and he needs to know.
And I like the growth that his partner had.
Yeah.
Like, he realized that Yancy's been right about a whole lot of things. And it got him to open up, and he's better for it. And Yancy calls himself the catalyst. And his partner's like, nope, you ain't no catalyst.
Or maybe.
And then he realized that he is, right?
Well, during that whole thing, because the Russian and the ex-girlfriend, or the ex-girlfriend of the guy who got killed is now the Russian's girlfriend,
And they're neighbors.
and now they're neighbors.
But it was funny because the first thing she said when he encountered her was, yeah, don't worry. We're probably just going to build a tiny house on this.
Well, yeah, they're going to knock the whole thing down, build a one-story so he can keep his view. And he said, I won the neighbor lottery anyway. It doesn't matter. He's just a good-hearted guy when it comes. Oh, speaking of which,
I think he was sarcastic when he said, I won the neighbor lottery.
I think he was. It's better than old boy he had before.
Yeah.
I don't think he was. I mean, he's
sarcastic.
very sarcastic, but I think he's happy nonetheless. Donald is in the FBI. Did you see Donald? He walks out with his snazzy suit.
And he does that whole little brush thing down the collar of the suit jacket.
Yeah, I was very happy to see that get paid off. You know, we saw him twice before.
Good shot.
Talked him up, got him. She got shot, yeah, and then it worked.
That was good. Pretty much everyone got a happy ending.
Everyone had deserved it, yeah. Because then we cut to Eve in Portugal on the rooftop of some fancy swancy villa.
I knew that was coming, and even knowing it was coming, seeing her get her just desserts,
Yeah,
it was so good.
it was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was,
I knew she was going to choke on her lies the moment Dragon Queen said it. And just to see that come to fruition and to pay off, oh, that felt so good.
yeah, whether she choked on her lies or not, it was baby carrot she loved so much. Finally got her. Then she falls. Yeah, no, it was good. All in all, I was very, very impressed with this entire series. I was too. I really do. I don't know how they would do it. I'm not a writer, so I'm sure there are ways. I mean, I guess technically I am, but I'm not a movie writer. I don't know how they would do it, but I'd like to see a season 2 for sure. Whatever that is in the car that we're going on another journey for, I'm in for it.
Yeah, but one thing I want to talk about real quick is Rosa, when she paid him his,
Goodbye.
yeah. He's like, this is the best way I've ever been broken up with.
I wouldn't do it with the mailman, but yeah, no.
That was sad though, because I would have loved to see Rosa again.
I'm sure in season 2 she'll come back around. She said she needs time to figure herself out.
Yeah.
Right, so it's not that she doesn't love him or doesn't want to be with him. It's just that she just left her job, went on this crazy adventure, almost got killed. She's having this existential crisis, needs to figure some things out. But says goodbye in the best possible way you could say goodbye to someone that you're in a relationship with.
True.
So all in all, Bad Monkey season 1, absolutely fantastic. From start to finish was an absolute joy. Great characters, great story. Well, it was laying a pretty good story, and the fact that things switch and keep you on your toes was worth it, I think. To sit through those earlier episodes that may have been a little slower. Vince Vaughn came back, absolutely fantastic, all-star, again, in this comedic role. And so, yeah.
I think this was one of the best things he's ever been in.
I like a lot of his earlier stuff. I also really enjoyed Wedding Crashers. Wedding Crashers is probably one of my all-time favorite movies.
I still think this tops it.
You think so? Yeah, interesting. All right, let us know what you guys think. Is this some of his best work, or what would be your choice for one of his favorite pieces of work?
I feel like everything led up to this.
I mean, obviously, that's the way that worked. That really was how it...
No, what I mean is he went through everything to be in the role that he's in right now in a really good way. All his experience in acting and the way he is in his acting, his expressions, his lines, all that stuff absolutely led up. He was built up for this moment.
Yeah.
I feel like. And that's a far cry from where I started.
No, 100%. Yeah, you didn't want to watch this at first. This was my recommendation, and I guess next we can go on your recommendation, right? Every now and again, we could try some new things.
Oh, yeah. We're doing something different, though, because we've got 2 series that we're going to be
Reviewing.
simultaneously.
Yeah, so we'll drop every other. Or no, we'll drop 2 a week. We're doubling it up, guys. Get ready. Here it comes. We're going to have 2 videos a week, 2 different series, double the fun. But before you guys go watch this other video here in just a second, I want to let you know that to win the $50 gift card, all you have to do is be subscribed to our channel and comment below what your biggest takeaway from the video was. If you do that, share something about this video in the comments. We'll register you in to win a $50 gift card that Liam will draw live on the channel at the beginning of the first week of next month, right? So roll into the holidays with an extra $50 in your pocket, buy some gifts, do whatever you need with it during the holiday season. I'm sure there's a lot of ways we could use that. And so you can be that winner. Again, just subscribe to the channel and then comment your biggest takeaway. What'd you love about episodes 9 and 10 of Bad Monkey? And we'll go ahead and have you guys enter to win. Other than that, if you guys want to check out the rest of the Bad Monkey series, we have the entire playlist for you from start to finish right here. And then you can also check out one of our most watched series that we reviewed on Prime right here below it. If not, just go ahead and subscribe. As always, my name is Chris, one of your hosts. With me,
Liam.
and we'll see you on the video. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.